Hello everyone, this is Whitebox here with another game of Spirit Island. Of course, you guessed it. This is going to be the last in this little series of playing the Horizon Spirits against the Habsburg Monarchy. I lost my last game, it was pretty close. I realized the end got cut off there, but looking through it, if I had made it past that Invader Ravage, got into the slow phase, I think I had a chance. So I'm going to try to avenge my loss against Habsburg last time with Rising Heat of Stone and Sand. This time, I feel like it handled its board pretty well. And really the issue was Serpent. So instead, I'm going to go ahead and pair Rising Heat of Stone and Sand with Eyes Watch from the Trees and see how I do there. Another spirit I haven't gotten to play Habsburg yet with, so that'll be interesting. I feel like they'll be pretty good against them, so that's my goal. And this time, going all the way. I'm going to play against Habsburg 6. This will potentially be just my second win against Habsburg 6. So far, I've only beaten them with Keeper and Stone. Stone, of course, basically invalidates Habsburg as an adversary. So this one will be a little bit more challenging, I think. And if you've been following along, you know what Habsburg 1 through 5 do, but as it's the first time I've played a level 6 adversary in a while, I'll go through the whole Invader card. Feel free to skip ahead if you already know what they do. So the Habsburg Monarchy, the livestock colony. They have an additional loss condition of irreparable damage. Track how many blight come off the blight card during ravages that do 8 or more damage to the land. If that number ever exceeds the number of players, the invaders win. So if they ever have 3 ravages that do 8 or more damage to the land, I lose. Escalation here. Seek prime territory after exploring on each board with 4 or fewer blight. Then you add 1 town to a land without a town or blight. On each board with 2 or fewer blight, do so again. It's pretty annoying. Then we get Migratory Herders is the level 1 effect. After the normal build step, in each land matching a build card, gather 1 town from a land not matching a build card in board land order. Alright, then I've got level 2 is more rural and urban. During setup on each board, add 1 town to land 2 and 1 to the highest numbered sand without setup symbols. During play, when invaders would build 1 city in an inland land, they instead build 2 towns. And that can be pretty annoying. Then we've got Fast Spread. When making the Invader deck, remove 1 additional Stage 1 card, which I've already done. Herds Thrive in Verdant Lands is this level 4 effect. It's towns and lands without blight are durable. They have +2 health, and destroy town effects instead deal 2 damage to towns only. Per town they could destroy, but destroy all towns works normally. So majors tend to destroy all towns, so they work a little bit better than minors against Habsburg. Wave of Immigration is the level 5 effect. Before the initial explore, put the Habsburg Reminder token, which I actually have not done yet, under the top 5 invader cards. When revealed on each board, add 1 city to a coastal land without a city, and 1 town to the 3 inland lands with the fewest towns, or fewest blight, excuse me. And then we've got the level 6 effect, which I've only gotten to do once. So Far-Flung Herds. Ravages do +2 damage total if any adjacent lands have towns. And that does not cause lands without invaders to ravage, so that's pretty good. And I believe if they're doing just 0 damage to the land, like if every invader in that land has a strife, then they don't do the extra 2 damage either. They have to do damage to the land to get that bonus. Alright, so that's Habsburg. Like I said, I'm going to be taking them on with Rising Heat of Stone and Sand and Eyes Watch from the Trees. I think Rising Heat did pretty well against them last game, held its own on 8's board okay. I can definitely play it better, so I'm going to try to do so. And then Eyes Watch from the Trees, haven't played this matchup yet, but I think they're going to do okay with it. So I'm all set, and I think I'm ready to get into turn 1 here. So let's flip the initial Explorer. It is Wetlands, better than Sands for sure on this particular board setup, so that makes it easier than last game already, at least from the beginning. And then I'm all set. So let's see what I want to do with these spirits. So, big thing, land number 7 there is going to be an issue. It's going to build 2 towns, and then 1 will migrate in, which means that in the Ravage they're going to be doing 9 damage, and I don't want that. Land 4, also potentially an issue because there's a blight there. I don't really want to have cascades. It's not the worst thing in the world against Habsburg because you want some blight on the board to make it easier to destroy their towns and to stop the escalation. So if land 4 cascades, that might actually be alright. I might not be worried about that. But land 7, I don't want a lost condition Ravage on turn 2. So that's really what I want to deal with is land 7. Land 8, I'll probably be able to defend. Land 3, I'll probably defend that as well. Although the Dahan are all kind of spread out here, so I need a way to get them all towards Eyes Watch from the Trees lands, so it can, actually do some stuff. So with that in mind, let's see. I'll probably do a turn 1 call on Herders for aid. Again, I think that worked pretty well. I don't think I need to really use any of these other cards that I have. So probably just need 1 card play. But again, if I go top, I'm getting that Earth, and it's kind of slowing me down from getting to 3 card plays. And I do want to get to 3 card plays. So I could do Stinging Sandstorm as well. It's not going to unlock any of my innates, though, if I do that. So what I'll probably do is gain a minor and see if it's a minor that I can use. Because I don't think that I need to use any of my other unique powers this turn. So I've got Renewing Rain, mostly off element, removes blights, not really what I want against Habsburg. Bat Scout for raids by darkness. For each Dahan, 1 damage to towns and cities, or 1 fear and gather up to 2 Dahan. It's good. I'm going to be using Dahan a lot this game. Again, completely off element though. Unquenchable Flames is better. 1 fear, 1 damage to towns and cities, and invaders do not heal damage at the end of the turn, and add a Badlands. And Badlands are going to be good in this matchup, so I do like that. And Lure of the Unknown. Let's see, gather 1 explorer or town. I could use it to stop a build this turn, which is not bad at all. It's got fire. It's got it's got fire. It's got air, so that's not too shabby. And stopping builds is good. I could also use it to stop the double town build in land 7, which might be worth it, just to keep them from having too many towns on the board right away. Also means that land 7 wouldn't be a risk. I can just let it blight, or let it ravage, because it's not going to be a lost condition ravage. So I think I'm going to go with that. Lure of the Unknown. I do still like Call on Herders for aid, but if I do Stinging Sandstorm or Gift of Searing Heat instead, then I do unlock Scorch with Waves of Heat. I think I'm going to go bottom track, at least, so I can get two card plays. I'll try to get up to 3 card plays as soon as I can this game. I'll probably move into... Let's see, there'll be a couple towns there. I can just skip the Ravage and land 4, so I'll get in there. I do want to use Lure of the Unknown. Let's see, I get 1 energy for presence. And Stinging Sandstorm's not too bad. I can use it to kill a town. That won't quite be enough. I would need to kill 2 towns in land 4. Potentially. Actually, no, I would need to. Okay. That's alright, though. I think I'll probably skip the Ravage there. It's still good to... So let's keep calling Herders for aid, actually. And play Stinging Sandstorm. Okay. Alright, so I'll try to deal with the towns a little bit earlier than I did last game. I let the board get a little too out of hand against Habsburg 6. So I'm going to try to do better against Habsburg 5. Alright. And then with Eyes Watch from the Trees, let's see. I probably want to do the same thing and add a presence, gain a power card. Let's see. I do have the defend 4, so actually Boon of Watchful Guarding could come in handy next turn. Now the problem with my innate power is it just doesn't defend enough in the early game. I do have Boon of Watchful Guarding, which is pretty good defense. So what I might do is just shoot for 3 card plays right off the bat. That way I can potentially hit the second level of my innate next turn, which is going to be a lot more useful than the first level. Defend 4 could actually defend stuff, potentially. Yeah, Habsburg does a lot of damage. So I'm going to I'm going to do Growth 3. Actually, yeah, because I'll do... Maybe I'll do Growth. I'm going to do Growth 2 one of these 2 turns, and Growth 3 the other. I probably want to see what the power card is early, so let's go for that. That way I can plan around it a little bit more. I've got Sprung with Words of Fire. It's pretty good. It's an extra card play over to Rising Heat early. Domesticated Animals go to Berserk. It's more defense. It's off-element defense, but defense is still excellent. Defend 5 is good, too. Elusive Ambushes is defend, and Gold's Allure. So nothing on element, really, which is not great, but that's okay. So probably Domesticated Animals go Berserk. Yeah. Potentially lets me add beasts once I get up to enough moon, so that's good. I'll need that. And can use that in a lot of different ways. I'm going to go from bottom. I can add this at a range 3. Let's add it into land 3. I want to stop a build. And then I'll play Mysterious Abductions. And I'm all set for fast powers. So, fast powers. I have Mysterious Abductions here, so it's 1 fear and 1 damage. Abduct that explorer somewhere into the unknown. Then I have Lure of the Unknown. I'm going to target land 7 and lure this town into, let's do the coastal land 3. That way they won't do a double town build, which would be bad. Alright. And that's it. So I'm good for an event. Flip that just for timing, but don't actually resolve it. And then I go to the invader phase. So they're going to build in wetlands. Let's get a couple towns in here. And then they will migrate. So board land order. So E4 is going to be first. I'll have it migrate from, let's see. Well, actually, I might. No, I still will. That's okay. I'll migrate from E6. This one will be there. Here. Migrate from the inland, I think is better. And there, a bunch of migrations. And then we get Exploring Sands. All the sands are empty, so that's pretty good. Means no double builds, no city builds, so that's a good start, actually. Alright, then I go to slow powers. I've got Stinging Sandstorm. I'm going to gather 1 presence into land 4, 1 fear and 1 damage. Because I have a sacred site there, invaders have -1 health, so I only need 1 damage to kill that town. And for the town and the fear, I get 2. And then I also have 2 damage to explorers only, with Scorch with Waves of Heat. So I'm going to go ahead and Scorch land 6 here. Kill that guy. Alright, that's it. So I'm going to discard cards and then go back to growth. So I know Eyes Watch from the Trees, their turn a little bit better, so I'm going to add 2 presents from bottom so I can get up to 3 card plays. That's going to give me a defend 4, which is pretty good. Yeah, I like that. And where do I want to go? I probably want to get into the jungle on the other board so I can target stuff, so let's go there. I don't think I need a sacred site for anything. Nope, not yet anyway. Let's go into where the invaders are, so I can try to start dealing with them. Coast is probably more important, so oh wait, I have 0 range on the second ad. Okay, well, I'll put that here too. Maybe it'll be better to get into one of the invaders' lands, because I do have a couple 0 range cards. So instead of that, I'll go into land 1. Okay, so that's that. Let's go with card plays as well. I'm playing my 3. I get 1 from... Shit, I don't have the energy for that. That's okay. I can use a different defend card. So instead of Eerie Trees, I have a bunch of 0 cost cards. I have a 1 cost card as well. Yeah, I guess I should have given Eyes Watch from the Trees energy last turn. Miscounted. That's okay. I have 1, so I can still do this. Do I need that? I do need this. I guess I could actually underplay. If I'm not hitting my innate, I don't need the 3 card plays. I can use it next turn instead, so that's alright. So let's go with these. And next turn I'll be able to get 3 card plays. So that's fine. I think that'll work okay. Yeah, okay, cool. So let's go with Rising Heat. So my goal right now, I'm going to let land 7 go. It doesn't matter. It's doing 7 damage, so that's not enough to hit loss condition. Can't really do anything anyway. It would be too many resources to try to deal with that land. Land 4 is going to be dealt with from Boon of Watchful Guarding, so I don't have to worry about that one. And I'll get a counterattack and kill the town, so that's great. Actually, kill both. So land 8 is what I need to worry about. It's going to be doing 5 damage there. I don't think I have a way to defend it. And it's probably not worth it. I could skip the Ravage. I don't really want 2 Dahan dying right away, because I'm going to be using the Dahan a lot this game. So I probably will just skip the Ravage as much as I want Light on this board. Yeah, I don't really want 2 Dahan dying from the very beginning of the game, so I will skip that Ravage. Unless I get a good defend card. Let's go with Growth 3 again. Get 2 energy. I played 2... Did I pay for that? I think I did. Yeah, I did. Okay, cool. Getting another minor. Turn 3 will probably be a major. Okay. I've got Promises Protection. That's a really good one. Gather up to 2 Dahan. Dahan have +2 health while on target land. Sucking Ooze. 2 fear if invaders are present. And Isolate. Isolate's very good against Habsburg. None of these have fire, though, except for Shadows of the Burning Forest. Not getting great on element cards so far for minors, but that's okay, I think. So I've got Promises Protection. Thriving Choke Fungus can add disease in Badlands. That's pretty good. Shadows of the Burning Forest is 2 fear and push stuff out. And probably Promises Protection. Sucking Ooze is also pretty good. So I'm between those 2 right now. Yeah, moving to Han's going to be pretty helpful. So let's take Promises Protection. And I'll go with, I get 1 more. I'll go from bottom. Gonna go for 3 card plays as soon as I can. Let's see, what's the range on this? 1? Yeah, okay. I can start moving into where I'm needed. Let's go there, just to kind of get in the center of the board. And I'll do Sweltering Exhaustion and Promises of Protection. And next turn I'll have 3 cards and 3 card plays, so I think I'll be pretty well set. Okay, cool. So that's good. I think this will work okay. So let's go into fast powers. I'm going to use Sweltering Exhaustion up here in land 8. It's 1 fear, and it's going to skip that Ravage. I don't want to lose all those Dahan. Then Promises of Protection. I'm going to gather 2 Dahan into land 4, and Dahan have +2 health in that land. Then I'm going to go ahead and use Boon of Watchful Guarding. So in one of target spirit's lands, defend 4. That's going over to Rising Heat, so it's defended 4 here in land 4. And because it's a defense card, I can gather a Dahan. And then I have Domesticated Animals Go Berserk. I'm going to target that here. So land 3 is defended 5, and I get to gather another Dahan and do a fear. Alright, and I think that's all I have. So now I go to the Invader phase. So first, I get an event. Now let's pay for this card. I'm still going to be poor, man. Okay, yeah, I'll work around it. Yeah, Eyes Watch, okay. Yeah, I really needed a 0-cost card instead. Maybe I should have taken... As much as I like Domesticated Animals Go Berserk, was the other defense card 0 or 1 cost? It was Elusive Ambushes, 1 cost, so it doesn't change anything. So I'm going to stick with it. Alright. So I've got Relentless Optimism for the rest of this turn. Don't generate fear from destroying towns and cities. Don't love that. Then Foreign Diseases on each board in the land with the most combined invaders and Dahan, 1 of each. Add 1 disease. Let's see, so that's here. 2 damage to Dahan. Shame. Yeah, I guess here. Kill another Dahan. Offerings of... Do you see the top land there? Maybe it's a little too shady. Okay. There we go. I think you can. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I don't love this card so far. And then Offerings of Pattern and Dance. Each spirit with at least 2 Dahan among its lands gains 1 energy. Okay, that's going to help Eyes next turn, so that's huge. And I get 1 for Rising Heat as well. So that's better. No fear card yet, so Ravage in Wetlands. This one's defended 5. They're doing 4 damage, 2 from this town and 2 from an adjacent town. It's defended 5 though, and then the Dahan will fight back and kill that town, which I don't get any fear for. Then I've got this one here, Will Blight, which is totally fine. It's doing 7 damage, so no loss condition. This one's defended 4, it's doing 3 damage. Dahan will fight back and kill both of those. No fear, again. And then up here they're skipping the Ravage, so that's fine. Then we've got Build in Sands. So we'll use this. Build there. Then build there. Okay. Board land order for migrations. So they'll migrate from land 2 to E1. Migrate from E8 to E6. No migrations into land 1 on F, which is great. I can just ignore that land. And then migrate here. And again, I can just let land 8 go. It's doing 7 damage next turn, so I don't have to worry about it. Instead, I can ignore it and try to buff my spirits a little bit. So that's good. And then explore into jungles. I will have double escalations though, which is not fantastic. Yeah, and I will have to defend land 1 then, because they'll get the extra 2 damage there. Okay, that's alright. So jungles. Yeah, Habsburg 6 is tricky for sure. And escalations happening twice on each board. Let's see, do it. I guess coast is probably better. Well, that'll migrate in, so yeah, let's do there instead. Okay, and then board E. Stick to the coast. And here, because I can actually do something about that. Oh wait, there's blight there, so I can't do that one, so land 5 instead. Alright, so escalation's good. Let's go into slow powers. And I don't think I have any, so that's all set. Yeah, I don't hit any of these innates, so I can discard cards and go straight back to growth. Nice fast turns. Okay, no, I would have had enough energy for this anyway. So I'm going to go growth 3 over on Eyes Watch from the Trees. Let's get another miner, just because I am a little bit poor. Gift of Power, that's very nice. Strong and Constant Currents, Animated Rack Root, and Wheat for what is lost. So Gift of Power can gain, give a miner over to, well, anybody really, but it's probably going to Rising Heat, which means Rising Heat could start going into majors. And it's on Element, which is fantastic. Animated Rack Root is not great against Habsburg. It's on Element, but yeah, Fear, Destroy, Explore, not that useful. Wheat for what is lost, target Blight, which is going to be a bunch of. Fear, push stuff per Blight, it's actually pretty good. And Strong and Constant Currents can push stuff to an adjacent coastal land. Yeah, it's good too. I like Gift of Power though. It's always nice to have support between your spirits. Get 1 energy for that, so I'm going to go with probably bottom, right? Yeah, it's going to let me hit my higher level innates pretty easily. And range 3 for this presence, so let's go into a jungle somewhere, about land 7. I'm going to need to do something about land 3 on board E, but I'll worry about that later. Okay, and I get another energy, and then I've got 3 card plays. So I'm going to go with those. And that'll give me actually the 3rd level of my innate already, so I'm getting a defend 6 and 3 fear. It's pretty good. Alright, yeah, I like that. So that's going to go into, it has to go into land 1. Unfortunately, it's not really the best use of that. Unless I can push that guy out, but I don't have any other fast powers. So let's see. So land 6 is an issue. Land 1's fine. I'll just let this ravage, I think. Okay. So let's go growth 3 again. This will probably be my last time taking a minor. I guess I could do a major. I only have 1 energy worth of cards here. I'm gonna have 7. Yeah, let's do it. I'll get another minor from Gift of Power, so yeah. Let's start going to the majors. Okay. So I've got Unlock the Gates of the Deepest Power. It's always a fun one. Gain a major without having to forget. And yeah, okay. I just don't have the energy for that on Eyes Watch, really. But it's okay. I probably won't take it. Weave Together the Fabric of Place is always a fun time. Combining lands. It's nice against Habsburg too. You can weave together a land without blight with a land with blight, so you remove durable from their towns, like I did in the game with what was it? It was Sunbright Whirlwind. That was a fun time. I don't know if it will be as good. It's mostly off element. Grant Hatred a Ravenous Form, mostly a meme. It's a terrible card. And the land Thrashes and Furious Pain. 2 damage per blight in target land, plus 1 damage per blight in adjacent lands. Repeat with that. That's pretty good. It's on element as well. I don't have any moon. I guess I have Lure of the Unknown. So it's going to be hard to hit the threshold for that, at least right away. But that'll hit the second level of Scorch with Waves of Heat this turn. I think I'll be able to do a bunch of damage into land 1 after the Ravage. So yeah, that not a bunch of damage, but some damage. And it'll be good. It'll get better as the game goes on and there's more blight on the board. So yeah, I'm going to take the land Thrashes and Furious Pain. I'll just forget Promises of Protection, I think. Actually, Lure of the Unknown, because there's probably not going to be a lot of lands without invaders for a while. Okay, I gained my 2 energy. I gained 1 for my presence track. That's a 3. Trade some of these out. So I'll play Land Thrashes and Furious Pain, Gift of Searing Heat, and call on Herders for aid. And the really nice thing here with the Land Thrashes and Furious Pain is I can wait to choose my target until the slow phase. So it could be good in land 1, it could be good in land 8, it could be good somewhere else. But either way, it is going to be a good card this game, I think. So I am all set and ready to go into fast powers. Yeah, let's do it. So I've got Gift of Searing Heat. I'm going to use that over on Eyes Watch from the Trees. I don't think there's a place where it really needs to. I want to let land 8 blight. I could use it to kill that Explorer in land 1. I don't love that this is going to be an issue. Don't want to lose that presence. Oh, I needed to add another presence as well. Let's go from bottom. I can add it at 1 range still. Not moving my presence around. I'm going to have to reclaim next turn, so I won't get to add a new one. So I don't want to go into one of the jungles. Let's go here. Okay. So Gift of Searing Heat, let's see. Might be best to kill that Explorer. I want the energy, but I don't know that I can really justify it. Well, it might be fine to let my presence get destroyed here in land 6. It's not a last condition Ravage. It's not going to kill the Han, and it's going to stop the double escalation next turn. So I think. Well, every land already has a town, but there's going to be migrations and stuff. So, yeah, let's see. I'm going to let that Ravage. I'm going to take 2 energy over onto Eyes Watch from the Trees. Eyes Watch from the Trees is going to use Mischief and Sabotage here in land 1. It's going to defend that 6 and do 3 fear. And of course, the reason that I need to defend that is because it's getting 2 extra damage from land 6, thanks to the Habsburg 6 ability. So that's why I have to defend it. Or I could kill the Explorer, but I don't want to do that. I want the extra energy instead. Alright, those are my fast powers. So let's go with an event. Let's see, stage 2, so no bravery without numbers. Invaders do not ravage in lands unless there are more invaders than the current terror level. Okay, cool. So they won't ravage here in land 6. That saves that. Means they won't ravage over in land 1 anyway, so I didn't need to defend it. Okay. Prey on the Heedless. In each land with beasts, 1 damage per beast. So 1 damage here. 1 damage. Go back. and then leave the hostile land in each land. Yeah. In each land with the... in each land, push 1 Dahan per Badlands or Disease, 2 lands without Badlands or Disease. There's, I guess, this guy here, right? Push him in there. That's it. Okay, Fear card. Fire level 1. Dahan Threaten. Each player adds 1 Strife in a land with Dahan. Sure. Let's see. Could add 2 Strife in here, but it's still going to be doing enough damage to kill that Dahan. I can't save it, so that's okay. So let's go in here. That'll stop the migration, and then I won't have to worry about the damage from that. Yeah, that'll be good. Sure. Over here. Okay. Dahan Threaten. Ravage in Sands, as long as there are more invaders there than 1. So they won't Ravage here. Don't fight back and kill that Explorer. That probably doesn't matter too much. They will Blight land 8. They will Blight land 1, and sadly, they will kill that Dahan. But neither Ravage is lost condition. They're both doing 7 damage, which is totally fine. Then they're going to build in jungles. I've got a bunch of builds. Migrations. Board land order as usual, so E3 is going to be first. Let's gather from here. Well, do here. E7. I kind of want to keep those guys in there. Let's just gather from the corner. F2. And F5. Explore in mountains. Alright, I think that's okay. The mountains over on board F were empty, so I'm in good shape. And then the escalations, of course, so they're going to add towns to lands without towns or blight. It's happening twice on this board, once on that board. Fortunately, on this board, there's only 1 land without a town or blight, so it only happens once anyway. Actually, no, there is this one. Shoot. And then board F happens once. So let's do it in F1. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, slow powers. I've got a bunch of slow powers this turn, and I haven't really planned them out too well. So Gift of Power is going to be first. That's going on to Rising Heat of Stone and Sand. So it gets a minor power. I've got Drought. That's great, actually. It's on element, destroys towns, 1 damage to each town and city, and adds Blight. Yeah, I like that. And hitting the threshold's not too bad for me, so destroying an extra city. Pact of the Joint Hunt, gather Dahan, 1 damage per Dahan present. Nature's Resilience is good, defend 6, and Swarming Wasps. Let's see, add Beast or push. Yeah, this is an easy choice. Drought's very, very good against Habsburg. And it's very, very good for Rising Heat of Stone and Sand. And it's thematically appropriate, you know? There's a Drought, there's Rising Heat of Stone and Sand. It makes sense. So that's Gift of Power. I've got Eerie Noises and Roving Trees. So it's 2 fear, and I can push up to 2 explorers or towns, which will be good. That'll deal with land 5, so I don't have to defend it next turn. I can stack up in F1 instead. I think that would be okay. Let's see, E3 is going to be a lost condition Ravage. I could skip it, though. And I'll probably have to defend land E7. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. I'll get F5 cleared out so I don't have to worry about it. So 2 fear, push these guys over there. Then I've got Whispered Guidance through the trees, gather up to 3 Dahan. If invaders and Dahan are present, I can do 1 fear. And let's get them into land 7. So that I can fight back on that. 1 fear. Maybe F2 would be better. I'm probably going to let F2 ravage. Yeah. Okay. So that's that. Then I'll go over to Rising Heat of Stone and Sand. So I've got Land Thrashes and Furious Pains. Probably better to throw that over on F8 because it's got some adjacent blight. I can do more damage there. So 2 damage per blight, and then plus 1 damage per blight in adjacent lands. So this will be 4 damage here in that land, which will kill both those towns. It's nice to get fear again for killing stuff. Alright, so Land Thrashes is good. Then I've got Call on Herders for aid. I guess I could have used that to push out. Yeah, so I could have done that here instead. So let's go back a little bit. So I had gathered these Dahan from Whispered Guidance through the night. I'm going to change that around. So instead, I'm going to call on Herders for aid, gather 2 Dahan in here, and then for each Dahan present, I can push up to 1 Explorer Town or Dahan. So I'm just going to push those 3 out, and then I won't have to worry about that land. I'm going to stack up in this Sands, because then, hopefully, I'll be able to wipe them all out pretty soon. I guess I do have Drought, but that's probably going to go into E2 this coming turn. Yeah, Drought and E2 makes sense to me. That's going to do quite a bit, and I'll be able to hit it with Threshold, so destroy the city. Yeah, that'll be fantastic. Okay, cool. So that's it, and then instead I can use Whispered Guidance through the trees somewhere on this board, defend that one. So let's just gather 3 Dahan in there. And I should be able to put a lot of defense into that land. It needs, let's see, it's doing 4 or 6 damage, so I need to defend 5. I can probably get the defense 6 again, so I think that'll be good. And I already did the 1 fear. And then I have Scorch with Waves of Heat, so the innate power for Rising Heat of Stone and Sand. I have the 2nd level, just the 2nd level. I don't have the 1st, so I can do 2 damage somewhere. This guy has 3 health, so I can't kill that. I'm just going to heal it back up. I don't really have a great target, honestly. Yeah, I'm just going to kill this Explorer so they don't get the build. That's really all I can do. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Let's move on. So that's slow powers. I'm going to discard cards. And go back to growth. I think I'm going to reclaim with both spirits, which should be okay. So let's do that. Each gets an energy. And a power card. I'm not going to have a ton of energy this turn, so I think I'll take another miner. This might end up being the last time I reclaim on Rising Heat, to be honest. Let's see, I'm still not getting... Well, I got Drought, so that was a good one. I've got Delusions of Danger. Can push in an Explorer or do 2 fear. It's not fantastic. Uncanny Melting removes Blight. It's okay. Pull Beneath the Hungry Earth. If target land has your presence, 1 fear and 1 damage. Nothing with fire. Maybe Veil of the Night's Hunt is the best one here. Pushing Dahan seems useful. Possibly the 1 damage per Dahan. Yeah, let's get Veil of the Night's Hunt. Delusions of Danger just for the 2 fears, probably okay as well. But, yeah. Don't need it. Okay. 1 energy from my presence track, and I want to do a drought in E2 this turn. And I want to hit threshold on drought, which means that I'm playing my 2 other sun cards. Actually, I have 3 sun cards, so I think I'd rather do Call on Herders for aid than Promises Protection. Then I'll be able to push some stuff out of land 5, just make it a little easier to deal with next turn. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, cool. So that also gives me the 2nd level of my innate. 2 damage, yeah, and 2 damage. I don't have the 1st level, somehow. That's okay. Alright, so that is Rising Heat. Did I get a power yet on... No, I didn't. So I'm going to gain, let's see, I have 4 energy. I'm going to have 5 energy this turn. Still not really enough that I'm comfortable going for majors, especially since I'm going for our card plays builds. So I'm going to gain a mire. Infested Aquifers is okay. Target land has disease, 1 damage to each invader there. It's mountains or wetlands, 1 fear, and add 1 disease. Yeah, it's okay. It's slow. Sky's Herald the Season's Return. I don't have any destroyed presence yet, but a spirit with presence on target board may add 1 of their destroyed presence, also gather 1 to Han, and push a blight. The push blight's not bad. Call to 10 to remove a blight, push up to 3 to Han. Or Call to Isolation. I think I like Call to 10 because... Well, do I want to remove Blight? Not sure. Pushing Blight's probably more useful. Eventually, I think I'm going to start losing presence, so Sky's Herald, the Season's Return, is good. I don't usually get a lot of use out of that. So, let's go with it. I think it'll be okay. Not this turn, but for a future turn. So what's happening this turn that I need to deal with? So this land here, it's doing 6 damage, so I would like to defend that, so I can have my Han counterattack kill the city. Land 5 is good. It's doing 0 damage, so it's not getting the bonus damage from Habsburg 6. This one's a problem. That is going to be a lost condition Ravage, but I might be okay just letting 1 go through. And then land 7's fine, so... Yeah, I think just so I don't have to put a ton of resources over into land E3, I'm just going to let it go. I'll take 1 Lost Condition Ravage. It's a little early for that, but I think it'll be alright. So instead I want to put my defense over into F2, because I can actually counterattack there. And I'll have a big counterattack, because I'll draw another Dahanan. So really, I want to get the 3rd level of my innate. I have 3 card plays, so I should be able to hit it pretty easily. Probably want to go... I get 1 more energy as well. I don't need to defend. I don't need Boot and Watchful Guarding. I don't need Mysterious Abductions. So yeah, I'm pretty flexible here. Let's go with Whispered Guidance Through the Trees. Eerie noises and moving trees. And Gift of Power. It'll be the same turn as last turn, basically. But I think that's alright. Pay for those cards. Now, I haven't been generating a lot of fear. I'm still pretty far off of terror level 2, but I think this turn I'll get a bunch more, so it'll start accelerating that. So let's go into fast powers. I've got the 3rd level of, almost the 4th, I've got the 3rd level though of Mischief and Sabotage, so I can do 3 fear and defend 6 into land 2. It's another fear card, and I will gather a Dahan in there with that. It's the only fast power over here. Over here, I have Gift of Searing Heat. Don't need the one when damage, so I'm going to give 2 energy over to Eyes Watch from the Trees. Means major possibly coming next turn. And everything else is slow, so that's all set. Let's go to an event. Civic Engagement. On each board, remove 1 strife. Shit, that's not great. If you can't, invaders do +1 damage per land when ravaging in lands with towns and cities. Okay. So it's a matter of whether I want to... No, it's an easy choice. I don't want them to ravage here. So it's coming off of this one. And then this board, I can't. So they'll just do +1 damage. So that's... I'll lose a Dahan, but that's okay, I think. Okay. Casualties of Fang and Sting. On each board, destroy 1 explorer or town in a land with beasts. So I actually can destroy this here, because it's not durable. This one just takes 2 damage. And then keep far from lands of plague. On each board, push 3 Dahan from lands with disease to lands without disease. Doesn't matter. Alright, Dahan Reclaim Fishing Grounds. Each player chooses a different coastal land, and each gather up to 1 Dahan and 1 damage per Dahan. Cool. That saves my land F2. So I will choose F2. Do 4 damage. Get 2 fear. Alright, good. I didn't want to lose Dahan, so that's great. Then, over on this board, I can do it here. Oh, I don't have a coastal land with Dahan, so that's fine. No gather yet. It's still Terra level 1. Man, I've lost a bunch of Dahan already. Don't love that. Alright, so that's fine. Then I go into the Ravage. This one, they're doing 4 damage. It's defense at 6. Dahan will fight back. Kill that. This one's doing 0 damage. So just loses its strife. This one, I will get a loss condition. So let's put an energy as a marker for that. So my first loss condition, Ravage. It's doing 4, 5, 8, 10 damage there. But that's alright. Okay. I have 2 to give up. That is how I lost the last game, so I do have to be careful of it. Then they're going to build in mountains. Let's do here first. Migrations. So E2 is first. Let's pull that from... well, either way, I guess I want to keep something stacked so I can do that. This is going to be an issue as well, but I think I'll be able to handle it. Alright, this one here, let's see, I do have to migrate, unfortunately. And here. Alright, I got my my wave of immigrations, so it's add a city to a land without a city. That'll be there. On each coastal board. Let's see. And I got the coastal again. That is very annoying. Okay, put it there. And then the 3 towns on each board, spread among the lands with the fewest blight. Inland lands. So, here. Okay, tough. And then explore coastal. Which means I'm going to have to defend E. Yeah, that's tough. Okay. Figure it out. It's part of the puzzle. No escalation, so that's okay. Getting that coastal before the Yeah, immigration is tough. That's the second game in a row with that, so we'll see if I can deal with it better this game. Alright, now slow powers. First, let's use call on herders for aid. I'm going to target F5, gather 2 to Han, and then push 2 of these towns. One's going into that one, and one I'll stack up and then 1, because I should be able to wipe that out pretty effectively next turn, maybe. If not, I can skip the Ravage, so it's okay either way. Then I've got Drought, so I'm going to destroy 3 towns here. It doesn't destroy them, but once the Blight's added, it will. So that's 3 Fear, and pushes me to a Blighted Island. Downward Spiral. At the start of each invader phase, each spirit destroys one of their presence. That's okay, because I have Sky's Herald the Season Return, so I can add removed presence back to the game. So that's alright, actually. And each of these spirits has a way to add 2 presence to the board, so that one I'm not too worried about. That gives me a lot of Blight to worry about, work with. So really, I'm not going to lose from Blight. The only way that I'm going to lose now is giving up 2 more Lost Condition Ravages, so I do have to worry about that. And then I have the Threshold for Drought, so I also destroy that city. Okay, cool. Let's see, I have... Scorch with Waves of Heat as well. I can do 2 damage somewhere. I was going to kill the town in E6, but I think killing the 2 explorers in E2 is probably the way to go. So yeah, let's do that. It'll stop the Ravage and the build, so that's pretty good. Still be a migration, but that's easier to deal with. Then after that, let's go to the slow powers from Eyes Watch from the Trees. So I have eerie noises and stuff like that. Let's see, what's ravaging? Mountain. Oof. Yeah, that F6 is a problem. It's going to be doing 9 damage right now unless I deal with it. Let's give a minor power over to... actually, I'll just give a minor power to myself, to Eyes Watch from the Trees. Maybe it'll be fodder for a major. Cycles of Time and Tide is good. Add Han back, which I need. Voracious Growth, 2 damage or remove a Blight, okay. Dire Metamorphosis, damage, alright, adds every token. And then Entrap the Force of Corruption, that is a good one. Gather up to 1 Blight, isolate target land, and when Blight is added to target land, it doesn't cascade. That I like against Habsburg. So yeah, as much as I like Cycles of Time and Tide, I think Entrap the Forces of Corruption is the way to go. So that's going to be a good card, actually. Then I have Eerie Noises and Moving Trees. Well, that'll make it easier to deal with that. F6, actually. So let's do that. So I'm going to push, do 2 Fear, target this land. Push 2 towns. And I'll push them into F8 so that I can blow them up hopefully next turn. And I've got Whispered Guidance Through the Night. Let's gather, I think I just need 1. Yeah, and I'll defend that next turn, probably. Can let F6 go. Well, both Tahan will die. I don't love that. Ugh, so much death. So much death. What can men do against so much death? I have a couple defense cards, though, so I think I'll be okay. Yeah. So that's fine, and I get 1 fear. And I think I'm set. So let's discard cards, and then go back to growth. And at least this time I didn't get that card that made me discard the bottom stage 2 card, so I do have 1 more stage 2 coming up before the stage 3s start coming in. That's going to be good. I think on both these spirits, let's see, when does this happen? Start of each invader phase, I'm going to have to be destroying presence, so that's fine. It doesn't happen yet. I would like to get a bunch of defense, so let's go with growth 3 again. Get an energy. Gain a power card. It's going to be a major. Not fishing for a major that I really need, which is good because this turn's all right. I think I can deal with it. So let's do this. Which means I can plan for the future. For the next turn, we're in the Ravaging Coastal, which is a big deal. Okay. So I've got Power Storm. Great card. Power Storm, Land Thrashes, and Furious Pain would be great. Unfortunately, I can't threshold Land Thrashes, so it's not as good as it could be. Still good, though. Vengeance of the Dead. After each effect that destroys towns, cities, and Dahan and target land, 1 damage per was destroyed. It's usually not a good card. It's off element. Not great. Paralyzing Fright, fantastic card. Skips actions, does fear. Yeah, it's great. Potentially, I have the cards to hit the threshold on that too. I do. Yeah, so Paralyzing Fright's probably the play. It's one of the best majors in the game. I'm trying to win a level 6, so passing that up seems like a bad idea. As much fun as Draw Towards the Consuming Void is, Paralyzing Fright's the best card here. Power Storm, close second. Does it gather Blight? No, it doesn't. Okay. I think I'll forget from discard. I can probably forget Gift of Power now. I think I'll go from bottom track still. I've got enough energy. I get 1 energy just from presence, so that's good. And getting to 4 card plays will let me threshold Paralyzing Fright, which is 8 fear. That's great. I'll probably just skip the Ravage over in land 6. Actually, I don't even need to go from bottom to do that. I can go from top. But I do need to defend lands F4. So I need to play a card with defense. Okay. So let's see where I've got so many options. Let's go into F5 here. I'm going to go Paralyzing Fright, Boon of Watchful Guarding. That'll deal with F4. F5 should be good as well. I need to defend 6 and F5. I need to do entrap the forces of corruption, which would isolate F5, and then I wouldn't have to worry about. Then I would only need to defend 4 there. Okay, that's pretty cool, actually. That's a good one. And then domesticated animals go berserk, I think. Yeah. Can throw a defend 2 somewhere as well. Yeah, that's probably the way to go. It's pretty expensive. I might need to reclaim for next turn, but I can decide that later. Yeah, let's do it. I might not. We'll see. Okay. So this turn's good. Eyes Watch from the Trees took care of all of the all of the mountains, so I don't have to worry about those. So instead, I can worry about the coastal lands, which are a problem. Let's see, E2's not bad. I can that will probably be fine. I don't think there's going to be a migration into it. E1 is a big issue. But I can skip the Ravage there next turn, so it's actually not that big an issue. And then deal with it sometime in the future. Who knows when? So instead, I'll probably wipe out E3 with Land Thrashes and Furious Pain. I think that'll be the way to go. Let's see how much damage we'll do there. It'll do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, 6 probably. So 6 damage in E3. Will that be enough? I'll need 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need more. Okay, that's fine. So let's go with Growth 3 again. I don't have a lot of energy, so I think this is going to be a minor. And I'll probably start looking for minors that can help me threshold Land Thrashes and Furious Pain. It's a good major, so I don't really need another. So Moon and Earth. Song of Sanctity. It's not great. Pushes explorers and can remove blight. Call to Ferocity is not bad. It's got Fire and Earth, which I like, and it's free, which I definitely like right now. Gather up to 3. Dahan, if target land has Dahan, 1 fear. Okay, yeah, I like Call of Ferocity. Razor Sharp Undergrowth has Moon. Call to Bloodshed. Damage per Dahan. Yeah, I like Call to Ferocity most of the set. I get 1 energy, and where do I want to add that presence from? Top or bottom? I think now that I'm at 3 card plays, I want to start getting more energy per turn. 2 energy per turn, or 1 energy per turn just from presence is not enough. So if I can go top, I think that'll be better. Because that 4th card play, I'm not going to be able to afford this turn anyway. So yeah, let's just go bottom. Or go top track. I wanted to put this into probably E3. I want to play Land Thrashes and Furious Pain. It's 4. It's not as strong non-thresholded. Let's see, I threw too many energy away. I have 1 energy left. Call to Ferocity is pretty good. It's got Fire and Earth. So I need 1 more fire card. I've got 1 energy. I think Stinging Sandstorm is the way to go. And save Sweltering Exhaustion until next turn. Alright, cool. I think I'm in a pretty good position, actually. So, weathered the immigration, weathered the coastal explorer. So yeah, I think I'm in good shape. We'll see what happens with the future, though. Okay, so going into fast powers, let's go with Everything is Slow on Rising Heat, which is fine. So let's go to Eyes Watch first. It's going to play Paralyzing Fright up in land 6. So it's 8 fear, because I have the threshold, and invaders skip all actions in target land this turn. So that just gets me a fear card. Then I have Boon of Watchful Guarding. That's going to go onto Rising Heat. Don't need to pay the 1 energy. I'm just going to defend 4 here. I'll just do it from Eyes Watch. That'll let me gather a Dahan in there. Then I'm going to entrap the forces of corruption. I'm going to gather this blight into land 5. Isolate that land, which is going to come in handy. And then when blight is added to target land, if it is, it doesn't cascade. Hopefully they don't play there. That would be bad. I think I can throw an extra defend just to make sure. Then I've got, let's see, so that was gather the forces of corruption, paralyzing fright, boon of watchful guarding. I've got domesticated animals go berserk, so yeah, I'll throw that extra defend 5 in here. It's defending 9. I don't think that I'm going to be at risk of that blighting, and that's an extra fear. And, oh, sorry, boon of watchful guarding should go in here instead. I'll gather a Dahan from that. This one is going to be domesticated animals go berserk, so defend 5, as well as mischief and sabotage, so it's defended 7 here in that land. And I get 1 fear from mischief and sabotage. Alright, let's do this. Event. I'm on Blighted Island now, so partition wilderness. On each board, if there are 4 or more lands with towns, which, yeah, that's true everywhere, then add 1 blight to a land with or adjacent to a town. Okay. Spirits may prevent this on any and all boards by destroying 3 presents from each board to be protected. I don't want that. So let's go. They're skipping actions here, so I will blight that. That's fine. I don't have presents to destroy with or adjacent to a town. I can throw this blight over in the corner. It's a lot of blight on the board, but I think that's okay. Then pest. Oh, I have to destroy presents for downward spiral. So let's go with this one. Pestilence arrives on canvas sails. On each board, add 1. Why are so many of these are killing my Dahan? No. All these events. On each board, add 1 disease to the coastal land with the most towns and cities. Minimum of 1 in that land. 3 damage to Dahan. Well, fortunately, I can do it there, and then I don't have to kill any Dahan, because it doesn't have to be Dahan and towns and cities. Clever cooperation. Each spirit may push 1 of their presence from a land with Dahan. 2 damage, and the land pushed 2. Let's see, I can use that to kill the Explorer and stop a build over in F3. That's not bad. Might be the way to go. Yeah, let's do that. So here, kill that Explorer. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, let's do this as well. So I'm also going to push that one here, and because that's a sacred site, invaders in that land have -1 health, so I can kill that city. Oh, I pushed. Let's see. I can't push two Rising Heat presents, but I will still push that second one. I like that, pushing into E3. And I was going to use Land Thrashes in that land, but maybe I won't have to now. We'll see. Okay, where do I want to do that with Eyes Watch from the trees? I guess I could clear that land out so they won't even build. Yeah, let's do that. Cool. Alright, 2 fear cards. Still Terror level 1 somehow. I've got 1 more to go. It's a lot of fear cards to go through. So Discord, each player adds 1 strife and a different land with at least 2 invaders. Let's go in here. It's going to make that much easier to deal with. That one, it's a lost cause probably, so... And here, because that's going to migrate. So, yeah. And then too many monsters. Each player removes 1 explorer or town from a land with beasts. So I'll remove these 2 towns. That's really good. Alright, Ravage. Ravage in Mountains. Skipping up inland F6. This one is defended 4. It's doing 4 damage. Dahan will fight back and kill that explorer. Or kill that town. Move these markers now. Actually, keep that one there just in case they explore mountains. I guess they won't, but fine. Then board E, 0 damage here. Here it's isolated, so they don't get the bonus 2 damage. It's defended 7 anyway. And the Dahan will fight back and kill all of those. Explore or building coastal. So I've cleared some stuff out. Cleared out the coasts on board E. And then migrate to the coasts. So E first, E1. Gather here. That's built up land for sure, but I think I'll be able to deal with it. At least I can just skip the Ravage. Then, let's see, the others. Actually, nothing to gather here, nothing to gather here. So those lands will be good for next turn. This one has nothing to gather. This one will gather the strifed town. And this one, gather that there. Wetlands. Okay. There's going to be sands or wetlands. I think that's alright. That's a problem, but it's a problem for a future day. Yeah, Isolate Man is very good against Habsburg, high-level Habsburg. Okay. It's got the escalation as well. I think each board has 5 blight. Nope, this one does. That one does not. So I do get 1 escalation over on this board that has to go there. Oh, that's funny. Okay, and then 5 blade on board E, so no escalations there. Okay, so that's fine. So now I go into slow power, so I've got a bunch. Let's see, and they're all on rising heat, all fast, all slow. It's nice how that works out. Call the Ferocity is good. Singing Sandstorm, let's see, where do I want to do things? See, I can stop a build in E7. That's probably good. And then I don't have to worry about it. E, F3, I'll try to deal with defense. So let's go here. It's 1 fear and 1 damage. Got Scorched with Waves of Heat. I've only got the 2 damage from that. It's 1 range from a Sacred Site, so not a lot I can do with that. I think I'll just kill these 2 Explorers to make it easier to defend that next turn. And then I have the land Thrashes in Furious Pain as well as Call to Ferocity. So Call to Ferocity, let's see. So 1 range, yeah, not a lot that I can do. Okay, so I'll use land Thrashes in Furious Pain. If I do it here, that's going to be 4 damage, which is not really what I want from a major. It's not going to clear the land out, so I'm still going to have to deal with it next turn, so probably not worth doing up there. Here is interesting. Well, it's only 2 damage, because there's no other blade adjacent to that one. So probably the corner there I can clear out is the way to go. Not the best, but it is what it is. So let's do that here. It's going to be 5 damage, so that kills everything. 2 fear. And then I do still have Call the Ferocity. So I can gather up to 3 to Han. Yeah, range 1. Okay. I'll do it here. Gather those 2 to Han. Alright. Alright, I'm good. Discard cards and go back to growth. Cool. Yeah, that's early. Alright, cool. Well, might have to call this short and come back to it a little bit later. I was expecting to have an extra hour to play. Okay, cool. I think I can do one more turn, so let's reset these. And yeah, let's see how much more I can clear out. Maybe finally get to Terror level 2. It's been a while. It is a slog. 5 fear cards to get through, and yeah. But I've been controlling the board pretty well, I think. Coastal is a problem, but a problem that I can probably deal with. Maybe. I might need to reclaim on Eyes Watch. I'm not going to have the energy to skip things, but it gives me more defense. That's tricky. Yeah, Eyes Watch's board is not in great shape. At least the coasts. I do have 1 skip. Push them to hunt around. Can give up that Ravage and land 3. That'll be fine. So really I have to worry about F2 and F1. Let's do Rising Heat first, because that's a little easier. I'm going to go 3 again. Get 2 energy. I'm finally going to unlock 2 energy per turn. Potentially. So major or minor, I'm only going to have 4 energy. And I've got some cards that cost energy in my hand, so I think I have to go another minor. Maybe I'm leaning too much on minors. Habsburg, you usually want majors, but gotten some good ones, so I think it's okay. It's worked out so far. So I've got Guardian Serpents. That's great. That'll be helpful. Poison Dew. Destroy Explorers. Not super useful. Call to Migrate is okay. And then Mesmerize Tranquility is fantastic. But the one that would have this turn is Guardian Serpents. Getting that extra Defend 4 over an F1 might save it. So I think I want that. Alright, I'm going to go top track. Can add this at 1 range. Let's see, reducing the health on the, yeah, I want to get into a land with stuff, so let's go into F2. It'll force me to defend it. I don't want to lose a lot of things there. So that's fine. I get 2 energy. 3 card plays. I like Guardian Serpents here. I need to play Sweltering Exhaustion. That's a requirement. And then Promises of Protection is probably the way to go, because I can put that over in F3 and deal with that. Okay, cool. So that's that turn. I think this, yeah. Not gonna have a lot of energy. I only have 4 next turn. Yeah, not ideal. Okay, so that means I've got to defend 4 up in F1, so I only have to defend that. Still a decent amount. But I could isolate it. Yeah. That's true, actually. Entrap the Forces of Corruption might be good there. So I think I need to reclaim. I don't love it, but I think it'll be okay. Yeah, let's do it. I'm gonna reclaim. Gain a power card. I have no energy, so let's go with another miner. I'm going through the miner deck pretty heavily. Steam Vents, destroy Explorer. Instead, well, it'll help me at the threshold on Paralyzing Fright, and destroy towns is pretty good, so that's not bad. Gift of Constancy is great. That'll be really nice for Rising Heat this turn. Might save me from having to reclaim, actually. I can go into a major. So Gift of Constancy, I do like that. I like Steam Vents, I like Gift of Constancy. Flow Down River, Blow Down Wind is also good. A lot of good choices here, actually. Yeah, let's go with Gift of Constancy. I think that's going to be a this turn power. I've got 1 energy from that growth option, 1 energy from presence, so I'm still poor, only 3 energy. But I do have some cheap cards that I'm playing. I want Gift of Constancy. I want Sky's Herald, the Season of Return, which is 1. Boon of Watchful Guarding. I don't think I need. So maybe Whispered Guidance through the night just to save some energy. And how much defense am I going to have up there? Let's see. I'm going to need. How much defense here? I'm going to need 5 in land F2. 4, I guess I can get away with. So if I do Mischief and Sabotage just at the 2nd level, which I already have, then that should deal with F2. F1, I've got 4 defense there thanks to Rising Heat. So and I need, let's see, 4 defense, and it's going to do 5 more damage on top of that, so I need to defend 4 up in F2 as well, so I might need Domesticated Animals go Berserk there. Entrap the Force of Corruption is tempting, but I don't think I can get away with it. Could do Boon of Watchful Guarding, defend 4 in F2, and then throw the defense 6 up in F1. I think that's the way to go. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so this is card plays. I'm saving some energy, so that's fantastic. Make sure it's still going. Not sure what happened on my computer. Yeah, still doing okay. Okay, so fast powers. Let's do this. So Gift of Constancy, going over to Rising Heat. Let's just put a marker here so I know that. Gets 2 energy, which is going to be great. And I keep. No, that's right. Okay, yeah, that's good. All right, so Gift of Constancy, Sky's Herald, the Season of Return as well is going to go here. Spirit with presence on target board may add 1 of their destroyed presence, gather up to 2 Dahan, and then push 1 Blight, but not doing that, so that's okay. So that's that. I want the reduced health there. Maybe better somewhere else. I don't know. I think that's okay. Then Boon of Watchful Guarding is going over onto F2 as well. I don't have enough Dahan to gather stuff there, but that's okay. It's a defend 4. Promises of Protection is going onto this land. So those Dahan have an extra 2 health. Sweltering Exhaustion is going here in land 1. Invaders skip Ravage and build actions, or skip 1 Ravage or build action. Guardian Serpents going up here. Adds a beast, and it's defended 4. And then Mischief and Sabotage I have as well, which is also going to go up into F1. Gather one of those to hand. And I have the 3rd level, so it's 3 fear. Finally into terror level 2. And it also defends 6 there. Okay. So it's a lot of fast powers. I think that's everything. So now I can go into the invader phase. I'm on the lands bounty exhausted. In lands without blight, it only takes, or in lands without presence, it only takes 1 damage to add blight. I think I'll be okay. Okay, Grim Toll. On each board, choose a land with, oh, I have to remove presence as well. I'm removing this one because it would die anyway, and I'll remove this guy. Okay. Grim Toll. On each board, choose a land with, I don't have any disease, so that's fine. Tell the old stories. Each spirit adds with at least 2 to Han among its lands, either reclaims 1 power card or regains a unique power it previously forgot. That's good. Let's see, I've only forgotten... I haven't forgotten unique powers yet, but the reclaim over on Rising Heat is excellent, actually. And with Guardian Serpents, I'm getting close to being able to threshold land Thrashes in Furious Pain. I don't think that's going to be my reclaim. Maybe it is. It's not too bad. And I'll have a decent amount of energy. Yeah, let's do that. I'll be able to threshold it next turn. And I think that'll be good. Repeat on an adjacent land. Yeah. Okay, cool. So that's that. Panicked by Wild Beasts. I'm in Terror level 2 finally, so each player adds 1 strife in a land with or adjacent to beasts. And then invaders skip their normal explore and build actions in lands with beasts. Cool. Cool. Yeah. Let's see. Let's go there. And there. That way I only have to worry about those explorers, which still getting to them is annoying, but that'll make it easier to defend that land. Okay, cool. So they're panicked up in the corner. Then I go to the Ravage. So Ravage and Coastal. So this one's defended 9, and they're doing, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage, so that's okay. Actually, I think it's defended 10, so good either way. The Hun will fight back and kill 2 explorers. This one here, it's defended 5, then defended 4. They're doing 5 damage, but I do have presence there, so it's not enough to add a blight. Then Dahan will fight back, doing 4 damage. Those buildings have -1 health. I can at least kill the city. And probably do 2 damage to a town. For reasons. This one is not defended. The Don Han there have +2 health. So that one will blight. They're doing 4 damage, so they will kill one Dahan. And then the remaining Dahan will fight back and kill that guy. Okay. Alright, I gotta take a break after this turn, but that's okay. I'm in good shape, I think. Let's see, and there's only 1 city left on this board, so if I can kill that and work my way all the way down to Terror level 2, this is probably going to be a Terror level 2 win, we'll see, even with a Fear Spirit. Okay, so that's that. This one skipped, so nothing there. Then build in wetlands. These wetlands are clear. This one does get a town. This one is that. Migrations. So they will migrate from, let's see, board E first. So no town to migrate into. that one. No time to migrate into here. I've kind of split everything up a little strangely. Here, I'll migrate in the damaged town, which will then die because it's no longer durable. I get a fear for that. It had taken 2 damage. And then nothing to migrate over into F7. I've kind of isolated that too, so that's really good. But then I get my first stage 3 card, and it is Jungle and Wetlands. Wetlands again. Coastal Wetland is like 3 times in a row? No. Let's see, nothing here. Oh, and the jungle. Okay, cool. That's not bad. Then I go to slow powers. I have Whisper Guidance through the night. Let's see, gather Dahan. I can do that. I'll do that here. Gather 3 Dahan into that land. Gets me a fear. Then for Rising Heat, I've got... Actually, I don't have my innate. Nope. So that's it. So no more slow powers. So discard cards. I'm going to reclaim one on Rising Heat, and if I reclaim Guardian Serpents, that's going to let me threshold land Thrashes, so I think that's the way to go. All my markers are good. Okay. And I'll reset these. Alright, cool. So I think I'm in a good place. I'm going to take a break, come back here in a little while, and finish out this game. Now, it's still close. I'm still worried about Lost Condition Ravages and Cascades, but I think I'm in a good position to get my second win against Habsburg 6. We'll see. Alright, I'm back from eating, drinking, all sorts of stuff, and ready to finish this game out, win or lose. So going into this turn, taking a look at some of the hotspots here, I have to worry about my wetlands. That is an issue in a couple places. This one could cascade. This one is an issue. This one, potentially. So those are problematic. I'm going to see if I can do something about them. Then jungle's coming up next. I've got a couple jungles here that are problems. So yeah, there are a couple issues that I have to worry about this particular turn. I would love to clear out this land number 1, but it's not that big a deal. I can let it go for a little while. Sands isn't coming up, and I can always add 2 presence into this land and then nuke it down. So I think I'll worry about that later and try to deal with these wetlands first. So let's see what I have. I've got a couple things left. I've got the land Thrashes in Furious Pains, so getting that probably up in this corner would be pretty good. Although it wouldn't do a lot of damage there right now. So while I can do a land Thrashes with the threshold, it might be good. It might still be worth it. So let's go for a minor and see what I get. Get my 2 energy. I've gained a lot of power cards this game, which is good. That's kind of the whole point of Spirit Island: gaining power cards, changing your spirit. Let's see. So I've got Purifying Flame, damage per blight, removal blight. Blight removal in mountains and sands. It's okay. Defend 5 with Sap the Strength of Multitudes. That could come in handy right here. Actually, that would take care of that land, so that's pretty good. I mean, I wouldn't get the threshold. Well, I still could potentially get the threshold on land Thrashes and Furious Pain, because I'll have 7 energy. That'll be enough. So I could go for that. Entrancing Apparitions defend 2, gather, or gather explorers basically, and then Scour the Land. It's probably too late in the game to go for Scour the Land. It is good. It is a good card. I don't have the ability to hit the threshold on it, but that doesn't really matter at this point in the game, I don't think. Purifying Flame is tempting just because there's a lot of Blight out there. Blight removal potentially is good. I think I'll go Sap the Strength of Multitudes. That way I can take care of this land 4, and I don't have to worry about helping out in that land from Eyes Watch from the Trees. I can worry about other lands instead. So that'll be good. So with that, I do want to go bottom track, so I can unlock 4 card plays. I can put this range 1. I would like to... Jungle and Wetlands coming up. Yeah, I'm not sure the best place to go. I'm going to go into land 7 here. I think that's maybe right. Remove the presence from land 4. Yeah, I think that's okay. I get 2 energy. Let's trade some of these out. And then play my last 4 cards. Okay. And I've got the defend 4 from Guardian Serpents potentially coming out as well, so I guess I could have gone into that land and defended that land 4. So I can use Sap the Strength of Multitude somewhere else. I do have range on it. That would take care of this land. So yeah, I can actually defend both land 4 and land 8 with Rising Heat and not have to worry about doing the defense with Eyes Watch. So I think that's probably okay. Yeah, that's good. So with Eyes Watch, what do I want to do? I've got 4 card plays. Defense, I can definitely defend. Well, I need to have a Sacred Site nearby, and I don't. So getting Mischief and Sabotage is going to be difficult unless I just grow 2 from top, which might be okay. Doing a growth 2 at this point. It's probably alright. I would like to have more presence out on the board, I think. Another Sacred Site is good. Probably in land 6 or 4. Probably land 4. So let's do that. I'm going to go growth 2. Taking them both from top. Going into land 4 here. I get 2 energy. And yeah, I don't need to play Paralyzing Fright. I don't need to skip actions. Yeah, I think I'll be all right without having to do that. So yeah, let's go with Domesticated Animals Go Berserk is range 0, but I don't need to use that. Could save the energy and just skip it. So let's go with Eerie Noises and Moving Trees. Mysterious Abductions. And Trap the Forces of Corruption, probably. I can get an extra Blight over here, which will be good, because I can use Land Thrashes there and kill the... and just wipe it out. So I think that's okay. And then I don't have to use my last 2 cards. I'll probably just save them. And yeah, that could save me from reclaiming next turn. I can underplay again next turn and go for Paralyzing Fright. Won't have the threshold on it though, so I'll see what comes up next turn and whether I need to do that. Although I have no energy, so Yeah, so that's okay. I think this will work out well. We'll see. All right, so that's that. Let's get to it. So I'll have a double build, but that's okay. So fast powers coming up. Mysterious abductions happening here. 1 fear, 1 damage. Kills one of those. Yeah, 6 damage going in there. That'll be fine. I've got Entrap the Forces of Corruption. I'm going to target this land here. Gather 1 blight. Isolate that land. And when blight's added to target land, it doesn't cascade. Okay. Then I have Mischief and Sabotage. I have the 3rd level again, so I can do 3 fear and defend 6 here. This chair keeps wanting to turn me to the right. So defend 6 there. Next up, I've got, let's see, that was that. Next up I've got Rising Heat, so it's going to defend 5 in the corner. There's going to be a lot of stuff built there, but that's okay. I'll figure out a way to deal with it. Okay, so that's fine. I've got Guardian Serpents. I can target either of these spirits because that's going in here. Defense 4 in this land, and adds a beast, which is nice. I haven't gotten to add beasts from Domesticated Animals Go Berserk yet, but that's alright. Veil the Night's Hunt as I have as well. Let's see, what's the best place for that? Maybe F2? Kill 2. It could be better in E4 just in case they get extra damage there, just to shore this up. So let's do it there. 1 damage to each of those. That way if they get a card that adds extra damage, I don't have to worry about it. And 1 damage on that town. I'll mark that. Shouldn't matter. So that's that. So, Guardian Serpents, Veil the Night's Hunt, Sap the Strength of Multitudes. I'm good with my fast powers. So let's go to an event. Years of Little Rain. Okay. Let's see. A terrible drought. First, Downward Spiral. Keep forgetting that, but that is important. I guess E3, probably. They're not going to build. They're not going to rotate in there, so I'll destroy the presences from E3. Okay. Years of Little Rain. A terrible drought parches the island. You may let the plants die and land wither. For each board, discard the top minor power. If it lacks water, add 1 blight to a sand. And towns, cities, and Dahan have -1 health until the end of the turn. Okay. Minimum of 1. Act to ease the drought. Cost is 4 energy per player, aided by water. Each spirit may add 1 blight to one, or add 1 presence to one of their lands with Dahan. Okay. So, interesting choice here, because if I let the plants die and get minus health on towns like here, potentially actually really good, because I would be able to kill more stuff with the land Thrashes and Furious Pain. I have 2 sands without blight, so risking that's probably okay. It's going to be very expensive to pay for this as well. So I'm actually okay with letting the plants die on the land wither. It seems appropriate for Rising Heat of Stone and Sand anyway. So let's do board F first. It has water, so I don't add a blight to that sands. That's fine. And then board E lacks water, so add a blight over there. I could let the cascade go through and land 1, just so there's more blight on the board, but it's a little silly. I don't want to do that. And I'm going to leave this out. because it's very important this turn for the slow phase that town, cities, and Tahan have -1 health. That'll be good, actually. So leave that right there. All right, fear card. Terra level 2. Demoralize, defend 2 in all lands. Okay, fine. All right, Ravage coming out. So right here, it's doing 3 damage. It's defended 6. Dawn will fight back and kill that Explorer. Empty. Right here, it's defended 4. Town will then die. And fear. So those are good. I'm feeling good about this game so far. Right up here, it's defended some amount, defended 5. The strife will go away. Okay. There's a decent amount of blight adjacent to that now, so land thrashes will do even more. So that's okay. I'm gonna kill all the towns that get added there. Oh, I forgot to do the rest of this card. What is wrong with me? So beast attack, each beast deals 2 damage. Remove any token that destroys a town or city. I guess no, because that beast would have done... That beast would have killed the town there because it had 2 health left. So yeah, this beast would have gone away. That one up there. I don't think that I'm going to have damage going in there. Possibly, let's see. No, I don't have Scorch with Waves of Heat, so I'll just do the Explorer. And one of those towns has 1 damage, but it's not going to do anything. Okay. And then Candy Defense during Ravage, and every land defend 1 per Dahan in the land. So even more defense. It's okay. I have yet to get an event that adds Dahan. I only get events that lose them. It would have been helpful this game. Alright, so Ravage is done. I've finished the event. Next, build in jungles and wetlands. I do get 2 towns there, which is not ideal. City here. Both wetlands are empty. These are empty. This one does get a town. This one gets 2 towns. But I have a plan for those. Migrations happen. So when a land's isolated, I get to choose whether to allow invaders to go in there. And in this case, I actually do. I want them to migrate in here. So one is going to migrate into 7. There's no migrations happening here because I've cleaned out the inner part of this island. And then no migrations here. And you'll see why in this slow phase. Why I let that go through. Board F, nothing to migrate in there. This one. And this one. I guess I'll just empty out that land. Okay, so those are an issue. Those jungles on board F are a problem. Unfortunately, I don't know that I'm going to be able to get the energy for Paralyzing Freight. So that is not great. But I do have other Ravage skips, so, and potentially really high defense. So other ways to deal with that even without Paralyzing Freight. And then mountains and jungle. Okay. I think I'll explore this time. Well, this one's isolated. How much damage am I doing there? Let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'll let it explore. It doesn't matter. Actually, yeah, it doesn't give extra fear, so it's isolated. No explore there. That's good. Alright, so now I'm going to do the Land Thrashes in Furious Pain. First targeting this land here. It's going to do 5 damage, 2 from this and 3 from the adjacent blight. And these towns have -1 health this turn, so that kills everything. That's 2 fear. And then I'm also going to do it, because I have 3 moon and 3 earth, I'm going to repeat that into land 8. And do 1, 2, 3, 4 damage. So that kills 4 towns, because those towns only have 1 health. So Years of Little Rain, doing good work. Still an issue, still 3 damage up there, but definitely a lot easier to deal with. Okay, so that's that. I do also have eerie noises and moving trees. So where do I want to do that? I can push some stuff out. Maybe push out of F2 or F5 just to make them easier to deal with. Can also push... yeah, I don't know. I can push the town out of F6 as well. Well, I know it's doing 2 fear, wherever I'm playing it. I can pretty much target the whole board, except for, like, this land. So... what's the best place? I'm not going to have enough energy to play Land Thrashes and Furious Pain again next turn. So... don't really want to push stuff out. Let's see, how much damage are they doing in F5? They're doing 10, 12, so even if I push 2 towns out, they're still going to be doing 8 damage there. That's a lot. I'll probably just push them into land F2, and I'll have to skip that Ravage in F2, and then try to defend everything else. So I'll stack up in here. I'll be able to gather Blight in there to make it easier to deal with everything. I've got a Sacred Site, so yeah, once I get a Blight in there, I'll be able to wipe that land out pretty easily, I think. Yeah, I think that's right. So cool. Let me discard cards and go back to growth. Shut this off. Okay. So I've got some destroyed presence now. I'm also running out of turns. I've got a few more left in this game. Terror level 2 seems like it might be difficult to get the win in that, just because of there are a bunch of towns still left and a bunch that are going to be built this turn, so might have to push for Terror level 3, but that's okay. I think even though there are 4 fear cards left, I can start pushing fear pretty quickly, I think. We'll see. I don't know. I've got Paralyzing Fright, which is a fear card by itself. Okay, I'm going to reclaim. As much as I would like a major, I'm going to get a minor. I'll do a major next turn. Most likely. Unless I go growth 2, but I probably won't. So Absorb Corruption, that's good. Gathering Blight is very, very nice this game to get it where I want. So I might do that. Confounding Mists. Defend 4 or push stuff. Okay. Carapace Land is not bad. Defend, I mean, I always have the 2 Earth, so it's defend 6. I like Absorb Corruption. Desiccating Winds is perfect elements. If the land has bad lands, 1 damage. Otherwise, add 1 bad lands. Targets mountains and sands. The mountains and sands aren't too bad. So while I do like the elements on this, I think Absorb Corruption's too good to pass up. Being able to gather Blight means that I don't have to rely on Entrap the Forces of Corruption. I can use that somewhere else. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, I get 1 energy, then 2 from presence. So I only have 4. And I would like to get a big Scorch with Waves of Heat to hit into F2. Now I do need to skip that Ravage, so Sweltering Exhaustion definitely going into F2. Then can take care with a defense. I can take care a defense from Eyes Watch. I could take care of E2. So let's plan on that. I haven't chosen my growth yet. I'm probably going to reclaim, but I don't know for sure just yet. So let me plan this out first. All right. So that's that. I only have 2 energy left. I probably want Gift of Searing Heat to get some energy over onto Eyes Watch, so it's easier for him to do his major paralyzing fright next turn, which will be pretty good. Also the 1 damage, but it's okay. So that's that. I have some fire. I would like some earth to get to Scorch with Waves of Heat. If I can get 2 fire earth cards, I'll have the 3rd level of that for the first time, which I think would be pretty good. Call the Ferocity is one that's free. Call on the Herders for aid, though, will let me push stuff out. So that'll deal with one of those next turn. Alright, and 1 more Fire Earth card. Except for Land Thrashes, because I can't afford that. So either Stinging Sandstorm, Drought, or Call the Ferocity. I don't think Drought's the play. Yeah, I don't think so. Probably Stinging Sandstorm, because then I can migrate in there and deal with that land. Using a lot of my air cards. Actually, this is just my unique powers. So, all of my unique powers. Unfortunately, I don't have another fire unlocked, so I don't get the highest level of my innate just yet. That would be really good. The 4 damage will do quite a bit, though. Yeah, I think that's the play. Use my whole unique set, and probably go for a thresholded with Land Thrashes and Furious Pain next turn. So, yeah, so that's what I'm going with. So with that in mind, so this is skipped, so that's fine. I do have to worry about land F5. I would like to defend E3 as well, so I can get a Dahan in there. So I think I need to reclaim with Eyes Watch. Hello? Yeah, it's worth it. Let's go for the reclaim. Get an energy. 2 energy from the tracks. Gain a power card. It's going to be a minor. Very minor focus game. So I've got Twilight Fog brings Madness. Add Strife, push stuff. That's okay. Gift of Twin Days. Once this turn, target spirit may repeat the lowest cost card they have in play by paying its cost again. You may do likewise. I like that. Prowling Panthers. Okay. Prowling Panthers not that useful. If the land has Beast, Destroy, 1 Explorer, or Town. Renewing Boon. Choose land where you and target spirit both have presence. In that land, remove 1 blight, and target spirit may add 1 of their destroyed presence. So that's interesting. I'm really between Gift of Twin Days and Renewing Boon. If I do Gift of Twin Days, I can get 4 energy, net of 3 energy. Over on Eyes Watch from the trees and get a repeat potentially. I think that's probably better. I don't really need to remove blight, I don't think. So let's go with that. I got my 2 energy. I've got 1 fear card coming out. At least. Let's do Gift of Twin Days. It's going to be nice for energy. That's 1. I've got 4 card plays, but only 3 energy. I need to possibly entrap the forces of corruption. If I do that on land F5, it'll stop that being a loss condition ravage. And I can just lose that presence anyway for downward spiral. So I think, although I wanted to entrap the forces of corruption in F2, well, either way, I am playing that card. It's very good. Let's see, Boon of Watchful Guarding's not too helpful. Well, I can target myself with it actually. So I can defend 8 there in F5. And if I do Whisper Guidance through the trees, I think that would give me the defense 6, so that's probably good. Yeah, I think that's alright. Okay, cool. I think I'm all set. So let's get to it. So fast powers, let's go with Gift of Twin Days, going over on Rising Heat of Stone and Sand. So it can repeat Gift of Searing Heat. I'll mark that. Gift of Searing Heat, going over onto Eyes Watch from the Trees. Repeated, so Eyes Watch from the Trees is going to get 4 energy. Which I think is going to be very helpful. Then Entrap the Forces of Corruption. I'm going to go ahead and gather target land F2, so I can gather in a Blight there, which is going to be helpful for Rising Heat doing extra damage. Then Rising Heat is going to go ahead and do Sweltering Exhaustion in F2, so they skip their Ravage. I'm going to repeat Boon of Watchful Guarding, so I have a defend 8 here in land F5. Yeah, and I repeated it, so I can gather. Let's do these two, because that's getting skipped anyway. So I repeated Boon of Watchful Guarding instead of paying the 1 energy to defend 8, so I can pull 2 Dahan in there. Then I think I'll also do Mischief and Sabotage in that same land. So defend 6, so that land is now defended 14. I can gather a 3rd Dahan in. I get 3 fear from that. And I think that's it. Okay, cool. So I'm all set. So an event. Let's see. Cultural Assimilation. On each board in a land with exactly 1 Dahan that has or is adjacent to a city, replace that Dahan with 1 town. Fortunately, I think I avoid that. Then Beast Attack. Each beast deals 2 damage. Remove any token that destroys a town or city. It doesn't happen. Reckless Offensive. On each board, choose a land with at least 2 Dahan and at least 2 towns and cities. Each Dahan destroys... Oh, wait, I need downward spiral as well, so I need to remove presence. I'm going to remove that one, and probably this one. Yeah, I think that's right. Okay, so that's... Oh, there's a Ravage going out here. Shit. Shit. I need to do something about that. I can't. Okay, well, I'll get a double cascade. That's not ideal, but I can weather that. So that's okay. It's more targets for the Land Thrashes and Furious Pain. Maybe the Fear card will save me. So do I have enough white for that to happen? Yes, I do. Okay. So it's just this one. So each Dahan destroys 1 town and city. So those 2. And the reason they successfully destroy, they do 2 damage to each of them, but then a Blight gets added, and then it actually destroys them. So. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, I think that's fine. Plan for departure. Each player may gather one town into a coastal land. Sure. Gather this guy here so that they don't get the double town built. And then I could just stack up in there. Sure. That's no problem, but I'm going to do a bunch of damage there. Probably not enough, but it's something. Defend 2 in all coastal lands. Okay. Then Sense of Dread. On each board, remove 1 explorer or town from a land matching a Ravage card. Okay, cool, cool. Let's see. Doesn't stop that cascade. So let's remove this guy so that they don't build. And remove 1 of those towns. Okay. Ravage happens. So let's do wetlands first. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Cascade. So I wasn't able to do anything about that. It's a cascade chain too. So I wasn't worried about losing this game to Blight from the Blight card, but maybe I should be. There's a lot of Blight on this board. Then jungles. This one's skipped. This one's defended 14, so those 2 die. Empty, empty. Alright, then build in mountains and jungles. So I'll get town here. I got a city there. Empty, empty, 2 towns. Okay. Migrations happen. Just over here, so those. And then explore mountains and wetlands. Okay. Did I build? I didn't build there. Okay. Alright, mountains are an issue now, so I'll have to worry about that. Either way, though, I get to the slow phase relatively intact. Let's go with Scorch with Waves of Heat, do 4 damage. That's enough to kill both these cities because they have reduced health. I wish I had done the 1 damage to each invader. It would have wiped out that entire land. I was 1 fire short. Dang. Yeah. Oh well. Okay, that's still 4 fear. Yeah, not as good as I should have done. Okay. Call on the herders for aid. Let's see, I can just deal with land F6. Probably good, so I don't have to worry about it. So let's pull 2 to Han in here. And then I can push 3 of these out somewhere else. I'll still have to defend it because of the town. Or maybe just put them into F5 so that when that ravages, then I'll have to defend it either way. Yeah, I'll do it there. I should be able to defend that land, and then figure it out. Okay, so that was Call on the Herders for aid. I also have Stinging Sandstorms, so let's do that right here. Let's me kill that town, and 2 fear. Okay. And then I also have Whispered Guidance through the night. Gather up to 3 Dahan. If invaders and Dahan are present, 1 fear. Let's do that in here. Okay. So closing in. Alright, this game is going to be very close. Let's discard cards. And then go back to growth. Too close, you might say. Alright, so if I can stop these ravages, which there are quite a few going out, this will be a good time for Thresholded Land Thrashes in Furious Pain. Right, can I stop these ravages, is the question. I can give this one up. Yeah, it's a lost condition ravage, but that's okay. Now let's plan for it, so I'm going to go for growth 3, 2 energy. Gain a power card, another minor. Actually, I'll do a major. I'll shoot for it. I have a plan. If I don't get a good major, I can use this turn, so I think that's okay. Sleep and Never Waken, that's a good one. Oh, lots of action skips. I like that. Not bad elements. Forest of Living Obsidian, that's a nice one as well, but it is slow. The repeat's not too hard to hit. Bloodrack Plague, which is defense and not super useful. Insatiable Hunger, the Swarm's a great card, but at this point I cannot afford to add more Blight, so not taking that. I'm not taking Bloodrack Plague. So I'm between Sleep and Never Waken and Forest of Living Obsidian. Both of which are good. I would have to add a presence into a Sands to use that, but that's not a problem. Okay. I can probably threshold that, which would be nice. Let's see, yeah, Veil the Night's Hunt and something else I would threshold it. Guardian Serpents, okay. So maybe I go for that instead of Land Thrashes. Save that for a future turn. So I'm going to take Sleep and Never Waken. I will forget Drought. I'm not going to use that again this week. I get to add a presence. Let's go into here. Not really the spot that I want, but I don't have a choice. So I'm going to do Sleep and Never Waken. Now I get 3 energy. So Sleep and Never Waken. Veil the Night's Hunt. And Guardian Serpents. Okay. With Eyes Watch from the Trees, I think I can probably afford to go Growth 2 again. Let's do that. Add 2 from top. I'm going to go into E2. So I can try to deal with that. Yeah, that's going to be a candidate for a skip. Okay, okay. This is going to be tight, but I think I'll be okay. Maybe. No, I don't have extra fear. That's okay. I still need to play it. So let's get 3 fear, or 3 energy. Paralyzing Fright. Unfortunately, I can't threshold it, so I don't get as much fear as I wanted. Still quite good, though. Domesticated animals go berserk. It's pretty good. I'm just gonna get ones. So that'll deal with that. Let's see. Probably Gift of Constancy. I think I need to get some more energy up to Rising Heat. I need to defend F5 as well. But with the cards that I have, I've got pretty good elements. Just with the tracks, really. So if I do one more moon plant, how much do I need to defend that? I need to defend it 6. So maybe I can't do Gift of Constancy. So I think Mysterious Abductions, maybe? I don't want to use Mysterious Abductions. I don't think it's great. So probably Sky's Herald, Seasons of Return. And I need something else with plants, so I can't do Gift of Constancy. That's okay, though. So let's go with... Eerie Noises, Moving Trees, because that will potentially help with something that gets built up this turn. Okay. That's all my energy, but I think it's good. Okay. Yeah, let's do it. Let's see what happens. So going into the fast phase, let's do Guardian Serpents over onto Eyes Watch from the Trees. So there's going to be a defend 4 in here, and adds an animal. Then I will do Domesticated Animals Go Berserk here, which I have the threshold for, so it adds another animal, and it's defended now 9 total. I can gather one of those to haunt in. And 1 fear. That's important. Getting close to Terra level 3. Okay. Sleep and Never Waken. I'm going to target land 5 here. So invaders skip all actions and target land. Let's mark that. Also 1 fear per 2 explorers that this power removes. So I'm going to remove 2. I have the threshold as well. I have 3 moon and 2 air and 2 animal. So I can remove up to 6 explorers from among my lands. So 2 more. 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's 4 more fear, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 more fear. Or 4 fear total. That's a pretty good use of Sleep and Never Waken. I usually don't get the threshold on it. Then Veil the Night's Hunt. I can push up to 3 towns, or each town deals 1 damage to a different invader. I think that pushing these 2 Han into this land is the most effective use, because they will all fight back and kill that stuff. It's defended a lot. Okay, fast powers are done from Rising Heat. I get to use Sky's Herald, the Season of Return. So a spirit with presence on target board may add one of their destroyed presence. I also get to push Blight and gather up to 2 to Han. So where do I want to do that? Let's see. Well, first, let's do Mischief and Sabotage. So Mischief and Sabotage, I have the 3rd level. So I'm going to defend 6 in this land, gather one of those to Han, and it's 3 fear. I'm also going to do Paralyzing Fright into F2, so 4 more fear. That puts me oh so close to terror level 3. There's only one city on the map right now, so if I can kill that, I would win. Which it's doable next turn, I think. Maybe next turn. Yeah, I've got Land Thrashes and Furious Pain, so yeah, if I can hold off this turn and the Ravage next turn, I think I will be okay. Still, it's close, but I think I might have it. Okay, so that's that. And then I still have Sky's Herald the Season of Return. Which of these spirits is more important that I add presence to? Probably Rising Heat of Stone and Sand. There's nowhere that I really need to add a Blight, so pushing it's not super important. So maybe Gathering Dahan is more important? I'm not sure. Okay. I can always push a Blight into this land here. And getting closer to that land's probably good. Yeah, so let's target that over on Rising Heat. Add a presence in here. Push a second Blight into that land. That way, more damage coming out from... one more damage coming out from Land Thrashes. Okay. So I think that's fine. I'm not going to gather Dahan, so yeah, I'm good to go. So let's go to an event. Lesser Spirits Imperiled. The Invader spread is threatening many of the island's smaller spirits. You may tend to your own strength. Each spirit gains 1 energy. Discard 1 minor power per player from the deck. For each with plant, remove 1 blight from the blight card, returning it to the box. So if I could potentially lose from that. For each with animal, destroy 1 Dahan in a land with blight. I don't love that either. Or forge a web of mutual support. Each player spirit. Oh, I need to destroy my presence right away as well. So let's go with... I don't think I need the Sacred Site there anymore. Let's do that. And here... this guy. These spirits have kind of traded boards at this point. Okay, so Forge a Web of Mutual Support's probably one I want to do. Each spirit gains 1 permanent element for the rest of the game. Which... I don't know what it would be. I've got a couple choices with Rising Heat. Yeah, I've got options for that. Okay. I do want to do that because there's a potential that I just lose from tending to my own strength, and I don't want that. So cost is 4 energy per player, aided by plant. So far I have 4 plant, so cost is 4. I could forget something. Let's see what I have here. Anything in discard? Nope. Yeah, I've got these. Trap the Forces of Corruption, still good. I'm gonna have to reclaim probably on Eyes Watch. Let's forget. I'm just going to forget Absorb Corruption. Pay for that. Each spirit destroys 1 of their presence. This guy. And this guy. And then gain 1 permanent element for the rest of the game. Okay. So I'm probably not going to be able to Threshold Land Thrashes next turn anyway, but Moon might still be good because that helps for thresholding Sleep and Never Wake. Mountain Wetlands, yeah. I think I'm probably okay with that. Fire might help. Over here, probably plant, just because it makes it easier to hit the highest level of mischief and sabotage. Let's go plant. And then for rising heat, tough choice, tough choice. So I'm between fire and moon. I think I like the moon. I've kind of morphed into a spirit that's using these majors. So let's go moon, and then I potentially could threshold it next turn. So yeah, let's do that. So moon. Okay. Quit the farm lands. On each board, push one beast to a land without towns or cities. One fear if invaders are present there, or if explorers are. So let's go here. Let's go here. One fear. And one fear. And then return to old pillars. On each board, gather 1 or 2 Dahan into a land with Dahan setup symbols. I so wish I had gotten an event that added Dahan. I just have not gotten one yet. So that's why I'm down to a low number of Dahan, even though I'm using them quite a bit. So gather 1 or 2 Dahan into a land with Dahan setup symbols. And it's required. I can't choose that optionally. So let's gather one of these guys into land 1. Here. Gather one of those there. Okay. Not too bad. 2 fear cards. Terror level 2. Trade suffers. Each player may replace one town with an explorer in a coastal land. Sure. Let's see. I guess just to make sure that this land gets completely wiped out, or almost. Let's see. Do I want the fear from that more, or do I want the complete wipe? Probably the complete wipe, so they don't build there. But I'm going to have to deal with it next turn anyway from the migration. Well, I don't want them to build a city, so... well, they wouldn't. I don't know. Yeah, I'll do that one. So, lose out on fear, but I think that's okay. I had to move that to Han. It's annoying. Okay, so that's trade suffers, and then mimic that Dahan. Each player replaces one explorer or town with one Dahan and a land with 2 or more Dahan. Cool. Well, those are gonna die, so let's do one here. And I guess here again. Well, that's even better than getting Dahan from an event. Okay, so that's good. Let's go into the Ravage. So this one's being skipped from Paralyzing Fright. I should have marked that. This one's defended a lot, 6, I think. They're doing 6 damage there. So Dahan will fight back. Let's see, this one is doing 1 damage. So I get to choose the order. So that's good. Nothing in F4. F3, this one's skipped. This one, they're doing, it's defended like 9, so they're doing 4 damage there. It's not enough. And empty. So, all good. So build in mountains and wetlands. I do get a couple builds. Skipping all actions here, which is great. And none of the mountains are building. Awesome. Migrations still happen though. So keep migrating out of this out of this desert that I've stacked everything up so nicely in. I think that's it. Yep, that's it. Okay. And getting close to the end of the game, exploring sands and mountains. This is a pretty epic game. Let's see. Sands and mountains. Skipping there. Alright. Then slow powers. I don't have my innate. I don't have Scorch with Waves of Heat. I do have a way to push stuff. So let's do that. So eerie noises and moving trees. I'm gonna get 2 fear, and that does push me into Terror level 3. So all I need to do is kill this city. If I kill that city, I win. Unfortunately, don't have a lot of fast ways of doing damage. Yeah, I mean, I can kill it in the slow phase next turn guaranteed, so that's okay. So where do I want to push? Let's see. I think maybe out of a mountain or wetland for sure. So probably F4. Yeah, I think that's it. So push those guys out. And I think that's it. Alright. So my entire goal right now is to kill that city. And I would need to do it in the fast phase because they're going to build... well, no, they'll build the city here. No, probably not. So they're not going to build a city. So I don't have to worry about that. Yeah, they're not going to build a city this turn, so I don't have to worry about them building a new city. Which is good. But I do have to worry about ravages. Let's see, I think F6 is okay, so that's fine. F7 is potentially an issue. Same with F3. E8 is a problem. And then E2 and E5. Okay, so I've got three lands on each board that are ravaging that I have to worry about. So I do think that I want to go for gaining a power card, 2 energy, and adding a presence. Unlocks a fire. Either way. Probably go for a minor, because that'll give me 5 card plays. I have 3 0-cost cards here, so that's good. So yeah, let's go for a minor. Unless I want to shoot for a major that would potentially take care of that city in the fast phase. That might be better. It's a risk. It's a high roll for major. There are majors that would do it. Yeah, let's do that instead. So let's take a major. More likely than a minor for that. Settle into hunting grounds. Won't do it unless I threshold it, which I can't. Infestation of venomous spiders could do it, but won't. Flow like water, reach like air. Okay. Can move the city. And then utter a curse of dread and bone. Okay, so none of those will kill that city. If I had gotten this element as a leaf, then I could have settled into hunting grounds here and killed that city with the threshold. But unfortunately, can't do that. Too late. And I don't have any other cards with leaf. Plant, I should say. So maybe Infestation of Venomous Spiders is the play, just in case something bad happens. Just in case I don't get the right cards on Eyes Watch from the Trees. Can't threshold flow like water, reach like air. Yeah, let's just take Infestation of Venomous Spiders. There's a decent amount of beasts on the board, so it's not too bad. I'll forget Veil the Night's Hunt, I think. Get 3 energy. And let's go from top, keep getting more energy. I want to get in there. Okay. Alright, now what do I want to do with this spirit? So, serious reductions, I can do 1 damage. It's not enough. I could reclaim and do some shenanigans with I think I've got it. So I'm gonna instead of Infestation of Venomous Spiders, I'm going to take Settle into Hunting Grounds. Aha, this'll work. Okay. I've got a Reclaim on Eyes Watch from the Trees. Get an energy 4, then 3 more. I gain a power card. It's probably not going to matter. I guess I'll get a major just in case something good comes up. Fire and Flood. Trees Radiate Celestial Brilliance is actually pretty good. Flowers Murmur, and I got Winds of Restored Atrophy, so that'll do it actually. So which way do I want to do it? I'll take Winds of Rust and Atrophy. It's actually what I was looking for with Rising Heat. I'll just forget Gift of Constancy. And so what I was going to do, I'll show what I was going to do this turn, just so you can play it out. So my plan was Settle into Hunting Grounds. And then my 0-cost cards don't really matter too much. And then over onto Eyes Watch from the Trees. I was going to do Sky's Herald, the Season of Return, and Mysterious Abductions, so that I can add a presence in here, reducing the health of this by 1, and then doing damage because I have Badlands there, and then Mysterious Abductions, which I realize I don't have a presence there. So Mysterious Abductions wouldn't have worked. So that was a mess anyway. But I got Winds of Rust and Atrophy, and that's enough. So I'll just play this so I can clean something up. Get some more things on the board, make it look all nice and pretty. Okay, for that. Okay. And this way I hit the I still don't hit the highest level of Mischief and Sabotage. Didn't hit the highest level of either of the innates this game, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and do the thing. So I'm going to use Winds of Rust and Atrophy from land 4 over to this land. Reduce that city to a town, and that's all I needed. So there are no cities left on this board, and it's tier level 3, which means that I win. I don't have to play anymore. So that was challenging. That was a lot of blight on the board. Second win against Habsburg 6. I'm pretty excited about that. Hopefully you can tell. And did it with 2 of the new Horizon Spirits. So let me go ahead and score this up, and then I will give my closing thoughts. And the score is going to be awful because of all this blight and all the Dahan that I lost. This was a very fun game. I enjoyed it. It was an epic marathon. I think I'm going to try to edit it down so it's not a full 3 hours that you're watching me deliberate on things. But Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. I do think I still have, even though these are low complexity spirits, there's a lot of depth to them. I think they're really well designed. I feel like I still have a lot of improvement to get with both Rising Heat of Stone and Sand and Eyes Watch from the Trees. So that's exciting to me. I like getting better at this game and learning new things, and there, yeah, there's a lot to learn about this one. This particular game, I think it went really well. I was in control for a while. I just couldn't quite close it out. I wasn't generating enough fear. And then once the stage 3 cards kicked in, just losing this guy in the corner and getting a double cascade, it hurt. But was able to take it back in the end. So, yeah. One lost condition Ravage against Habsburg 6 is pretty good. Yeah, I'm really happy with this game. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I think my plan going forward for the next couple weeks is to adjust my setup here. I've got another table that I want to bring in, and I think that'll make things a little bit clearer on camera. I'll be able to get the camera a little bit closer and have a kind of better, more effective setup here. So that's coming soon. I think I'm also going to, now that I'm done with this series of just playing the Horizon Spirits, particularly against Habsburg, I'm going to do a series of games against other level 6 adversaries. I've beaten, there are some spirits I don't have any level 6 wins with, so I'll probably start pushing those and try to get every spirit at least one level 6 win. I would also like to get all level 6 wins with one spirit. Closest one I have right now is Keeper. I've beaten 5 of the adversaries at level 6. So Keeper's coming soon, probably against Russia, to try to get my first level 6 Russia win. So a lot of level 6 games coming up over the next couple weeks, new setup coming. If there's any particular pairing that you want to see in any particular matchup against a level 6, let me know in the comments as well, and I'll go ahead and make that happen. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I will see you all next week.